Every marriage has 3 rings. The engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the bicker ring. We're here to settle the fights that don't matter and have no winner. It's the 3 Rings Podcast with another new argument.
Welcome once again to another episode of the 3 Rings Podcast. My name is Phil.
I'm Lauren.
And
we're married.
We are married. And this entire podcast, if you haven't figured it out by now, or if it's your first episode, this entire podcast is designed to argue about the things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of life.
No.
They matter a great deal to everyone.
To most, but it's not something that is a life or death kind of situation.
We have found that some of these arguments are very much like I don't know if I'd necessarily date that person if they did this or if they agreed with this. These are the important things that you should really know going into any relationship.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. You can tell whether you're going to be interested in marrying somebody or whether you want to be friends with this person. You might cut somebody out of your life because they don't agree with some of these things.
I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to promote that. I don't know if it would necessarily
be this particular episode where we're going to be talking about, a Universal BOP, but like some of the past episodes.
I would hate to think that we were responsible for a relationship ending.
Oh. Okay.
Do you know of someone who ended a relationship because of something that we've talked about?
No, but out of the things that we've talked about, I can see some people being like, I had no fucking clue that they did that. Nope, I'm out.
Like what? What do you think people would take that seriously?
I mean, I think anything that comes to we do a lot of talking about like the TV in the bedroom and stuff like that. Like, these are things that we didn't have like a huge blow up fight about this when we first talked about it, but it was an argument.
Yeah.
And, just knowing us and how we fight for the most part. If you were willing
to break up over that, though, then, you have other issues. There's, clearly,
maybe.
You're not fully invested.
No, but you never really know when it comes to some of these things.
I guess.
Some of these things could be deal breakers.
I don't think today's is going to be a deal breaker.
Today's not going to be a deal breaker, but it is going to push the limits of musical taste.
I struggled with this one a little bit. I don't know why. I think that justifying this is hard.
I think you told me what yours was before we started all of this. So once you said that, my exact reaction was, ooh, okay.
I think I can make a good case for it. I think it's got a chance.
All right.
Why don't we get into what it is that we are...
So we're talking about a Universal BOP, and I got to thank Ben Davis for bringing this to my attention and saying this would be a good argument. So thank you, Ben, for this. So when we talk about a Universal BOP, in any situation, if this particular song came on, everybody would be in agreement that
it's a good song.
It's a good song.
Yeah. Nobody would be like, turn it off. I hate this song.
There's nothing polarizing, or it's it's a Universal BOP. Everybody's going to get it. Everybody's going to be fine sitting through the song, listening to it. It's you could pick a country song and people would be like, I don't like country. Or you could pick a metal song and people are like, we're trying to party, man. It's not that kind of party. So there's a lot that kind of factors into this.
I feel like there are examples of this that we didn't choose. And one that comes to mind is Call Me Maybe. You think there are people that hate Call Me Maybe?
Yeah.
Genuinely, they're like, this song is trash, turn it off.
Yeah. I guarantee there are. But part of that is because I think... I don't know if people are so much, saying, it sucks, but they're more just I can't fucking listen to this.
Okay, but, I think the thing is that soccer moms love Call Me Maybe.
Yeah.
There were teenage boys that loved Call Me Maybe, that were, into it.
Yeah.
It, spanned... There's nothing, disagreeable. It's not controversial. It's catchy. It, my
it thing
sticks
is this.
With you.
I don't think people still want to listen to it today, though.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That's kind of what I'm going for.
Name one that you and I did not pick.
I mean, if if I had to, I mean, the first one that came to mind when I first had this conversation was Smells Like Teen Spirit. I mean, universally, I think most people would say, like, yeah, it's a good song. Like, for me, I would be like, I probably don't want to listen to Smells Like Teen Spirit. Can I? I mean, obviously, yes, I can. I've probably heard Smells Like Teen Spirit at least 5,000 times in my life. There's a very good chance that it is that high, and I'm not exaggerating at all. So, you know, but it's a song that if you play it for anybody, they're going to be like,
Or
yeah,
like,
that was a jam.
Okay, Rolling in the Deep. I think that's a universal bop.
Arguably in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can go back to like some classic rock stuff with, you know, stuff from the Stones or the Doors or you know, anything like that. Like,
In the Air Tonight.
yeah.
Who doesn't like that song?
I mean, this is what we're saying though. So there are a lot of universal bops that people are they're down with.
Okay.
And that's what we're going to be arguing about today is what is the ultimate universal bop.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll go first with mine. Mm-hmm. I picked Hey Ya from Outkast.
Which is a good choice. It is a good choice.
I mean,
it's not the choice, but it's a good choice.
I mean, I think it is the choice, but I'm basing it on commercial success. I'm basing it on the age appropriateness for multiple generations, lasting into today, and basing it on the energy of the song, that up-tempo energy. So those are my main 3 points for why Outkast Hey Ya is the best universal bop.
I'm going with Toxic by Britney Spears.
And that is a hot take. That is a hot fucking take for this.
I think, okay, it's super fun and catchy, one.
Okay.
It has been extremely highly rated, and I have like a really good stat that I will share during that portion.
Okay.
And it's timeless. It's timeless.
That's where I think we're going to disagree.
I don't think so, but okay. Like I started last week, you start this week.
All right. Well, Outkast Hey Ya is the best universal bop out there. Point number one, the commercial success of the song went number one in multiple countries, including the United States, of course, with Australia, with Canada, with Norway, with Sweden. It was included in many lists for the greatest songs of all time, including being placed at 145 on the Billboard 60th Anniversary 600 Greatest Songs of All Time list. It was nominated for a Grammy for Record of the Year in 2004, which, I mean, it was only nominated, didn't win. But here's a hot take. I had to include this. And sorry, this is a little bit off topic when it comes to all of this. But Record of the Year in 2004 at the Grammys went to Clocks from Coldplay.
Shut up, really?
Yep, they won the Grammy, which I feel like this was a huge waste on the Grammy because in that year you had Hey Ya, you had Lose Yourself from Eminem, you had Crazy in Love from Beyonce.
Wow, okay, yeah.
And you had Where Is the Love from the Black Eyed Peas.
I mean, and I like Clocks, but that's, I mean, stacked up against Lose Yourself and Crazy in Love?
Stacked up to any of those, and Coldplay Clocks ended up winning, so
yeah, all right.
Take from that what you will. Anyway, back to the commercial success of Outkast Hey Ya. The album that it was on, Speakerboxx / The Love Below, won Album of the Year at the Grammys and also won Best Rap Album at the Grammys as well back in 2004. So
it was a good album.
It was a fucking great album. So commercially very successful, but when you look at the song just in general, you find a whole lot of different elements in Hey Ya that broadens the appeal of the song. So when you think Outkast, you know, up until this moment, you know, you thought hip hop, you thought, you know, that southern rap sound. Well, Andre 3000 wanted to do something different when it came to this album, which is why they had the split album.
Yeah,
and they did basically solo albums and put it together as Outkast. So he wanted to do something different, and even though there are the elements of hip-hop, the elements of pop that are in the song, a lot of inspiration came from the rock world in just how the song was being created. So it started off with him playing acoustic guitar, coming up with the song idea, which, you know, that specifically drew inspirations at least for him, from the Ramones, from the Buzzcocks, from the Hives, from the Smiths, some of the inspiration behind that. So, then critics started comparing the instrumentation to, and I thought this was a great quote, a mix of the Flaming Lips meets Prince.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Which, I can
I can kind of see it. Yeah.
And then, the vocals reaching kind of hints of like an indie rock version of Little Richard almost.
Yeah.
So, you combine all of that with the heavy synthesizers that are in the song, the bass lines that are in there. There's so many different genres that kind of blend together into one.
The thing that I like most about Hey Ya is, like, I remember at the time there were a lot of like indie covers of it, and they like slow it down, and when you listen to the lyrics, it's a very sad song.
Yeah.
It's not like people are dying, but it's just about like how what are we doing?
Love.
Yeah, what are we doing here? Like, do we actually love each other?
Yeah.
What's going on?
There is that juxtaposition between like the lyrics that are very sad, but also the very up-tempo, poppy, fun kind of vibe to it. And, if you throw on Hey Ya at a wedding, nobody's going to be upset with that.
No.
Like, it's
gonna,
just one of those songs.
People are going to get on the dance floor.
Yeah. So the song was released in 2003. So it covers a lot of different generations, especially at this point. So somebody who was in their 30s or 40s when it came out, who were like still in that age of like, being okay with like pop music, essentially is like the best way to say it. I mean, they're into their 50s and 60s at this point. So, they're still going to enjoy it. Like maybe even creeping into like the 70s age group, like they might still be fine with it. But also anybody who's under like the age of 10 years old right now, they're still developing their musical tastes. So if they heard that, like they're probably not going to have an opinion at all, to be perfectly fair. So, like it covers basically age 10 to 70. People are pretty much going to be okay with having Hey Ya on. So, that's a strong point for it. And, it's still getting played on our Jack FM station, which is just, it's all fucking hits. So that the song is a goddamn hit if Jack FM is playing it. So it covers a lot of bases with all of that for spanning taste, spanning age, all of it. So keeping with the like energy of the song and how it sounds, it's just up-tempo, and it's fun. It's great to play at parties. Like, everybody knows it. There's the call and response with the song that everybody gets into. I mean, like, when that comes on, like, do you not participate? Like,
of course I do. I'm not a heathen.
See, this is what I'm saying.
It's a good song. It's not the song, but it's a good song.
But it spans, like, basically any event minus like a funeral. You could probably play this song. Like, if you're at a party, everybody's going to be into it. If it's on at a restaurant or a bar, you're not going to ask the waiter or waitress, be like, can you please like change the song?
Turn it down.
Like that's not going to happen. Like, it's a fun song. It's an energetic song. People love it. It's the #1 Universal BOP that is out there.
All right. Okay. A strong case. I think
I got a good case on this one.
It is a good. I always dread doing the music ones with you because you come in strong. But
it's what I get paid for.
I'm still doubling down on Toxic.
I'm very curious to hear how you
Number one,
this.
It's super fun and catchy. So there were like multiple like articles written that I came across where they talked about how it could be played anywhere. Like
minus a funeral.
Maybe. Like, we'll just take it out.
If it was if they died by poisoning. Maybe.
If they poisoned other people. That would be.
I still don't think it'll be played at a funeral, so continue.
I want it played at my funeral, and I want people to I want there to be like this whole mystique about like, did I murder people or didn't I?
Well, I mean, I'm probably going to die first, so they'll be like, oh, she definitely did it. She definitely poisoned him. He was fine up until he wasn't.
NME wrote that the song was used everywhere. Gay clubs, They referred to hen nights, it's. And, like, Britney Spears herself has said that it's her favorite song in her arsenal. Like, even Britney Spears, queen of pop music, is
hot take.
said that it is her favorite song.
Okay.
Amy Schreifer of NPR said that the song's synth defined the dance sound for the decade. It was, like, pop music. Its point is to be popular.
Yeah.
And it was an extremely popular song, and it was a song that, like, inspired an entire sound of pop music after it came.
I mean, but I can make that same argument for Hey Ya. I mean, it was a sound that was so unexpected from them, but you look at everything that came afterwards with all of that, how hip-hop started going more mainstream, started getting more pop-driven. You look at things like, I mean, a perfect example of, basically almost the same song is Happy from Pharrell. Somebody who's notorious for being, more into the hip-hop world, making a pop song.
But, I mean,
and
like,
the commercial success
think
that came
about,
from
like,
that.
Britney Spears. Like, we wouldn't have Katy Perry, we wouldn't have Ariana Grande, we wouldn't have Lady Gaga if it wasn't for Britney Spears, like, paving that path.
I'm not arguing about her significance in pop music.
It sounded like you were, but
No.
so
I'm making
number
a similar
2,
argument for how if you didn't have Outkast, then there would be a very different sound when it came to pop music as well.
Okay.
I mean, hip hop / pop kind of crossover into that world. I mean, you can say that for most very popular artists. Like, if they weren't around, especially today,
but you
who
didn't.
would they have
so
influenced?
moving on. Anyways,
I just did. Literally just did.
And, okay, so this is like a very, very strong point that I'm about to make.
All right.
In a poll by Sony Ericsson, Toxic was rated the world's second favorite song behind We Are the Champions.
Oh, that would have been a good...
It would have been a good pick. But
pick that one.
the second favorite song in the entire world
When was that
is
done?
Toxic. I think it was 2005, if I remember correctly.
Okay. So, I mean, Hey Ya only had 2 years to really get on board with that.
I don't know when
Toxic
Toxic
came
was
out
released.
2008, maybe?
No, then the article would have been written in 2005.
Sorry, yeah. 2003, maybe?
But then it also would have had only 2
I don't
years. It was 2003.
2003? Okay.
So it also only had 2
All right.
years. So
That's
second
fair.
favorite song in the world.
Okay.
Okay, so then
Was it up
3
for a Grammy?
Yes, it won. It won her only Grammy.
Okay. Not for Record of the Year, though.
Shut up, Philip.
Didn't go for Record of the Year. Didn't
Shut
win
up.
that either, so on par.
Yeah, but neither did
On par with Outkast on that one.
They only got nominated, that's all.
Yeah, she didn't even
Okay.
get nominated, but
But
yeah.
she won a Grammy. She won her
Okay.
only Grammy. Okay, so then the sound of it was so ahead of its time that again it like influenced pop music for the entire decade.
Yeah.
And it was so ahead of its time that you still like it still stacks up against like what's being released right now. Like it is that sound was like not again like Hey Ya was very different for Outkast. Toxic was also very different for Britney Spears. It was one of the first songs that she released that was like, oh, she's an adult now. It's not like straight bubblegum. It's way more modern.
Yeah.
It's way more sophisticated.
Yeah, and I mean, it did. I could see if you took somebody who had no knowledge of artists or anything like that, and you played that, and you played a Lady Gaga song, they would probably think it's the same artist.
Yeah, or like think about
it is a very, like,
E.T. by
dancey.
Katy Perry. Like very,
a little bit.
It was. There's an influence there.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I get that. That it was. It was really that push into, dance music starting to really take over. Mainstream. You know, it definitely was ahead of its time for that. But
this is like proof that I don't understand how the Grammys work, but Toxic won Best Dance Recording at the 2005 ceremony. So she must have released Toxic in the latter half of 2003.
After October.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. That always confuses me.
Yeah, because the Grammys for Outkast was the 2004 Grammys.
Okay.
So the Grammys their cycle is October to October.
Okay.
So if it falls in November, December of say 2003, then it won't be included until the following year.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's very weird, but
it is weird.
It basically makes it so, like, if you're putting out an album in November, December, you have a full year cycle to get in, as opposed to
she
else.
In the Zone was released on November 12th, 2003.
Yeah. So
and then it was released as a single on January 13th, 2004.
Yeah, it would just be when it came out.
Okay. All right. So. That makes sense. But
still.
Yeah. I mean, that's my case.
That's your case?
You had a lot more.
I had a lot more. I don't think you made a more solid case for why Toxic is the most universal bop. I mean, is it a universal bop in our house? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, like, I will sit through Toxic. It is probably my favorite Britney Spears song that's out there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
I think a lot of people would be on board with that. But
yes.
I think if you took 100 people, sat them down in a room, and played Toxic, you'd probably have at least one person that's like, I don't want to listen to it. I
still think that there would be one person who doesn't want to listen to Hey Ya either.
I don't know.
I think in both cases, though, they're either a person who does not like pop music, or they're just sick of hearing one of the two.
Yeah, I think if you take fatigue out of it, like people that are just tired of hearing the song, I think if you take that out completely, I think both songs are still going to have a good shot. I don't know, but if you keep it in, I think that more people will probably be like, yeah, I'd be more willing to listen to Hey Ya.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Hey Ya gets way more play than Toxic does.
Yeah, but if it's getting more play without that burn factor on it.
Okay, true.
People are still okay hearing it.
We want to hear what you all have to say about this. Yeah. Like, what do you think is the number one universal bop? Is it Hey Ya? Is it Toxic? Is it something else? Is it We Are the Champions?
That's a good one. I almost went with Bohemian Rhapsody, but then I was like, it's also really long. So I don't know if you could get younger people to really still sit through it.
This might be just me, but like We Are the Champions, I don't love it.
It's not my favorite Queen song.
No, me either.
But it is.
It's not even in the top 3 of my favorite Queen songs.
It is one of those songs where you really don't have a problem singing along, though.
I really only know the chorus, which I guess is probably what most people know. But
if I put it on, you would know it. It's one of those songs where like it'll come on and you just like it's like muscle memory.
I do. Like I can hear the tune in my head, but I can't remember any of the words.
We'll test this in the car.
All right.
At some point. We'll do that. I feel like you know more than you know.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, you share with us your thoughts on this. You can find us at 3 Rings Pod on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Share us with your friends on any platform. We would be thrilled to
spread the good word.
Yeah, to have some new listeners weighing in. Mm-hmm. And we will see you all next week.
Yep. No idea what we're going to argue about next week. We'll come up with something.
Yeah, if you've got suggestions, let us know that too.
We're always looking for suggestions. We're always looking for just feedback in general on some of the things that we argue about because we like knowing who won. I like knowing who won.
Mostly Phil likes
This is a competition
knowing who
to me. I like to win. So please take my side, and we'll be back next week with a new argument.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another weekly episode of the Three Rings Podcast. We'll be back next week with another new argument. In the meantime, follow us on all social media platforms at Three Rings Pod. Join in the argument and tell us who's right, who's wrong, or why you have the right answer. Whatever. Just tell us stuff.